Hi, Shep Hyken here, customer service and experience expert. And today I'm going to discuss our intentions when dealing with customers. Now, not long ago, I wrote about calling your customer or an employee honey, and it generated dozens of comments. And one of our subscribers made a very good point. He agreed that the lesson was about being socially correct, but perhaps we should look beyond the name that's used and instead consider the intent of the person using it. Now, he was saying that the server may have intended to create a warm and friendly atmosphere, and calling a person honey was her way of doing it. Well, there was no intent to offend or harm. That's obvious. In fact, there was only the intent to serve. As a society, we may be focusing on the wrong thing. What was this server's goal? It wasn't to disrespect, belittle, or embarrass the customer. She was just trying to be friendly. However, even with the best intentions, if you upset a customer because you refer to them the wrong way or say something that is socially or politically incorrect, that doesn't make it right. But for training purposes, you must acknowledge the intent before focusing on the change of behavior. And that's what brings us to this something like honey lesson, in that it ties into intentions. A friend mentioned that it surprised him when people communicate with poor use of language, and he shared a story that made me smile. But before going any further, I realize I'm heading down a dangerous path as my use of the English language is not perfect. Regardless, I hope you appreciate the story. So as a young man, my friend was the manager of a high-end retail jewelry store. He hired a salesperson, her name is Leela, who, in his words, lived only to provide excellent customer service. And as part of the sales process, the salesperson had to get the customer's information. So one afternoon, he overheard Leela asking her happy customer, "Where do you live at?" Yes, that is bad grammar, and I'm guilty of this one as well. So after the customer left, he politely suggested to Leela that she not end her sentence with a preposition. Where do you live at? She said she understood, and that was that. So a few days later, he heard her ask the question, "Where do you live at, sir?" Well, at times, we've all been fixated on the wrong things. The correct use of the preposition? Really? Well, I get it. I'm in the communications world, and good grammar is essential. And there are times when people, including myself, make mistakes. Many are tolerable and can be fixed quickly with the right attitude and an apology. But remember, the lesson here is that in many situations, if not most, the intent is more important than perfection. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short lesson. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Shep Hyken, reminding you to always be amazing.